Let's get you the latest from Uttarakhand, where operations are underway in order to rescue 41 workers that remain trapped. This is day 12 and this is the last and final phase before they can get to the workers and then eventually find a way to make them crawl out of that passage that will be created for them. The Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Pushkar Singh Dhami, has inspected the site. We also had VK Singh there. Well, everyone is there on standby when it comes to the ambulances, the doctors and the rescue teams. Of course, there was a slight delay as far as that area is concerned. We were expecting the rescue operations to be completed at night and at the most by 8 o'clock this morning. But a certain delay has in fact delayed the operations. According to the rescue teams, the operation involving the drilling through the debris to push the white pipes for the trapped workers, that was because the auger machine stopped working. To get more on the situation on the ground, we have Lieutenant General Saeed Atta Hasnain, the member of the National Disaster Management Authority, joining us. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. We do know that rescuers need to dig through that 12 to 13 meter stretch before the welders can fit in the pipes. Sir, in your opinion, how long could this take, keeping in mind some delays that they might face?
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to your program. I think it's very important that we continue this public information in this manner. But I'd like to correct a perception of which you just spoke about. And I don't think anyone has the authority to tell you that 8 o'clock in the morning, we are going to get the strapped workers out. This is one of the most complex tunnel rescue operations anywhere in the world. And the kind of geology that we are encountering here in the Himalayas, it has to be remembered that there are any number of imponderables. You cannot predict, cannot lay down a timeline. I have been stating for the last 2 days that it's an unfair thing to actually impose timelines on the rescue force, which is there, because you're putting their lives at risk, and we do not want to have two organizations at risk. That is the trapped workers inside and those who are working outside to get them out. So I think this is needs to go down to the public. No one is putting any timelines out. We are only saying every resource of the government of India is at work there. They are coordinated right from the highest levels of the government of India. And with that, we are very confident that the earliest we will be able to get the workers out.
Right. So giving a time frame in these circumstances is anyone's guess. But sir, half of Uttarakhand, to be precise 51%, which does include Uttarkashi, has been classified as high to very high landslide susceptible zone. If you disturb the slopes, disasters like landslides are inevitable, isn't it?
See, this is an issue not related to rescue. If you've got questions on rescue, you should ask me at this time. This is post the event. I promise you we'll just sit down and discuss with the panel or anything you want and broadly look at all these aspects of which may cause controversy at that time.
So
at this moment, we are all focused on rescue and nothing else.
Absolutely. So, sir, at this point, what are the challenges that the rescue teams could perhaps face?
See, as you yourself just said in the beginning, very correctly said that there is about 12, 14 or 15 meters. No one can even assess actually what is the slope of the rubble on the other side. We still really don't know. So it may be that it can go to 65 meters, it could be 52 meters, 60 meters, anything like that. Now, having said that, as I said, in the rubble itself, there is a lot of iron, there are girders, there is a concrete which has fallen from the roof of the tunnel. Now, each place where you are probing with this auger machine, obviously you're encountering all this. This is exactly what happened yesterday. It was the later part of the day when they encountered an iron girder. Now, that iron girder had to be cut physically by pushing in NDRF personnel inside, and they had to go in with oxygen cutters, which the oxygen can only last for 1.5 hours at one fill. So it was taking that much more time. Now, with all that, you cannot therefore quantify how much time it's going to actually take. So in the remaining 10, 12 or 14 meters, there could be one or maybe even a second obstacle like this again. There could be a heavy piece of equipment which has been left behind somewhere there, which is under the rubble. There could be a rock formation itself. This is very, very uncertain geology in this area. So that is why it's an unpredictable thing. What we can definitely say is that now with the contact having been established with the workers, their psychosocial capability is definitely enhanced. They are speaking to their families. There is fresh food going inside. There is even toiletries have gone inside. To that extent, the government has gone where toiletries have gone inside. And anything that they desire to actually be comfortable inside, I even learned that even BDs were sent inside.
Right,
which is
sir.
something,
Any more such demands that were made?
I am only hearing this, that this is nothing official or anything like that, but this is a humanistic thing where you find people who are, sort of committed to smoking would always want something to smoothen their nerves, to stabilize their nerves, and nothing like it if you get something to smoke inside there. So it's probably maybe something has been sent inside for that. This is all psychosocial. Now, in the past, if there were disasters of this kind, no one looked at this human aspect. And today there are 3 or 4 psycho counselors who are outside, who are actually passing messages inside. So that's the degree to which disaster management in India has actually modernized and taken a huge leap, I would say.
Right, sir. Sir, a team of experts has been called in from Delhi. The team has reached the site. When we talk about the NDRF team has stepped in order to clear that last bit that is left. Sir, we have a lot of preparations. Ambulances are on standby, doctors are on standby, specialized doctors have been flown in. Take us through the psychological impact as well when it comes to, being in such vulnerable areas with no escape routes and additional support that was given to such laborers that have been stuck now for 12 days.
Very good question, and I'm glad we are discussing this particular aspect, because this is, as I just said, this is something which has not usually been discussed in India in the past in these kind of disasters. There are people who have been stuck under bogies in train crashes, and they have also gone through this kind of a psychological trauma. Here, this is definitely a trauma. But notwithstanding that, I would like to correct the perception. There is enough space inside. There is a 2-kilometer tunnel behind the area where they are stuck. So they can even walk up and down if they so wish. The area is well lit, because fortunately when the collapse took place, the power cable did not somehow snap. So that is there. Secondly, the compressor cable, which was pushing in compressed air for running the machines, that pipe continued to remain intact. And because of that, water could be sent. It remained as a form of a crude form of communication, and even some small packets of survival ration could actually be pumped in with that. That is how you find that what we are looking at the moment in the images, they seem to be in a reasonable state of physical health. But as you say, psychological health is of as important a thing. And this is something which has definitely been affected because of the enclosed environment, because of the isolation. But we are learning that some natural leadership qualities are coming to the fore. The media has reported. I'm not certain myself, but I would definitely like to know more on that. A leadership example is being quoted from inside, where one of the foremen has taken charge. He's experienced labor himself, and he's taken charge of the whole situation and has clearly stated in a very military style that he will be the last person to be evacuated himself. Now, if you have got people of that quality inside, obviously, the state of morale will be that much better. But notwithstanding that, I don't think the government has taken any chances.
So when we talk about the endoscopic camera that was used, and the first visuals that we saw of the laborers inside, we've not seen any visuals of the laborers from this morning. Why is that? And also, why that delay? I mean, how come they didn't think of it earlier to use that camera to get the visuals and to establish contact through walkie-talkies?
You see, the probe went in when the 6-inch pipe was established. You could take more chances. Till the time you have the 4-inch pipe with you, first of all, if you push in an item and it gets stuck in the middle, the only lifeline that you would have would collapse. You would not have it. So the moment redundancy was built in, and this always happens in any kind of an operation environment, the moment you have redundancy built in, you have got a 6-inch pipeline, you've got a 4-inch pipeline, and let me also inform you, there's a third effort going on from the top of the tunnel to create another 6-inch pipeline vertically downwards. Because we are looking at more and more alternatives, and we are not banning ourselves on ensuring that we are making sure that if this gets elongated even further, 10, 12, 14 meters, as I told you, is an unpredictable distance. If it elongates even further, nothing like having three pipelines, three lifelines to the workers. So to come back to your original question, that's the prime reason why probes were not sent in, why aligned equipment was not sent in, and we were only using it as a crude communication device and sufficient to only push in survival rations and a few medicines.